Why? What have we done to deserve this?
Probably one of the only few platforms that I think I grace almost every time. I take you and then KSM, like back to back, religiously. So don't mention me sad.
Well, if
it was 1 year. That was last year, and I went home with her.
But how?
Yes, yeah. I know it's almost like me missing Rapaholic, right?
Home is home.
I know what the fans will do if I miss Rapaholic.
Home is home. Would it ever happen that Rapaholic without Sarkodie?
I always feel like it every year.
Without me.
The whole, as in.
Without you.
No, actually, to even not do it in a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I think one of the producers mentioned.
Yeah, I always feel like I don't think this year feels like we should do it. But then when it gets
close, but you can't feel day. But I'm looking at a day where you wouldn't show up. You just be behind and produce.
I would like to see that.
I
would like to see that.
You did backstage.
So it grows beyond just coming to see Sarkodie. Mm-hmm. That's actually a thought that I've had.
That every year you have a headliner.
Exactly.
Like
that's the idea for This Is Tema.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, This Is Tema was started, and then I wanted it to be like, Kwesiata can head it. Our two Bs will do it, which is still going to be that, because it's not This Is Tema, it's not Sarkodie, it's Tema. So, but Rapaholic, of course, I don't know how it's going to feel if I'm not on the stage at all, but I think we need to try. If it's a good show, they wouldn't.
Like what happened recently? I mean, that was
which
the recent Rapaholic.
Were you there?
Oh, Charlie, it's small. I didn't come. Your manager didn't invite me.
Oh, so that's the beef.
Yeah, that's the beef. Yes.
Go.
He didn't invite me. Can you imagine?
The issues Angel has that he has to solve.
It not be small. My producers want lash out rough.
Yeah, but you no try. No.
They want lash out.
No,
I spoke with Hammer. I think the producers even came to me before George Quay. And then George was with me a few days before the event. So I had been through the process till... Unfortunately, that day I had an event.
Okay.
So my Christmas was also busy.
Okay.
Anyway, your song, I'll Be There.
Yes.
When you listen to it... Okay, do you listen to it often?
Yes. One of my songs that I go back to listen to.
Does it? Do you feel that inspiration anytime you listen or you play it?
Yes. I actually feel like when I'm listening to any other gospel songs, it gives me that vibe, and the production is good. So it's when you go back to listen to it. Big shouts to Kewa. Almost all the records I've done with Kewa, I still revisit. They're all very strong songs.
When you are down, what's that Sarkodie song you listen to?
I don't listen to myself because I feel like I'm just gassing my own self up. I definitely like to listen to a lot of. I think I've said it several times. Yasapo. In those times, he has the messages for. But I'm not down. It's hard for me to be in that state.
No, but you're human. You are human.
Yes, I can be frustrated about something, but I don't think, because I understand life. It's really nothing. You're going to be good, regardless. So, yes, the human bit can kick in but it's not to a point where I need music to, that's what I'm trying to say. But if I want to be motivated and reassure myself, my faith and all that, yes, I revisit Yao Sapon's records. Yeah.
But speaking of the frustration, at a point, any of your frustrations, you just get into the booth without putting pen to paper, and then you just pour your heart out.
Some of them.
Some.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it looks like you've slowed down.
I haven't. It's just maybe my frustration now is not as relatable to maybe the masses. So you might not notice even if I'm talking about it. I think when your frustration is a lot of people's frustration at the same time, yes, it becomes like a major thing. But it could be a song that I just dropped that you think is just a regular song, but that might be my personal issue. So I do it. It's just that people have an expectation of what they think you're supposed to.
The expectation.
Exactly.
The expectation. Because I noticed some fans were lashing you hard on the economy, the current economy. Why are you not saying anything? When did you see them?
Oh, it's 24/7 for every public figure on social media. There is no way you're going out there that every day people are saying you are the best and you are king, and it's happening on a regular basis. It's not once. yeah, of course, you have intense day where something has come up. But I think on a regular, every day, somebody has something to say. So that one is, and but bottom line is, whatever you're saying, you didn't say it before I went to do the first one. So that is not the reason that's going to get me to go and do anything. So if I want to do something, it's something I will feel like doing, and I'll do it. So your comments is not really, I wouldn't say relevant, but that's not the reason why I'll go and record a song.
Does it mean that none of the fans can push you to do stuff?
Yes, they do. It depends on what you want me to do. Some of the fans are. Sometimes I see a comment on a video maybe I dropped on YouTube, and then they will make a comment, and you can see when it's coming from a genuine place, and we have the hate type of comments, which is very, you will notice it insulting you for no reason. But somebody will say, "Sark, I think you are going off this way. I think this is, stuff like that." Yes, I can work on.
And that you take them in good faith. Oh wow.
I'm somebody I'm not really afraid of. I actually like people who can tell me. My team is not the team that Angel will not spare. Even if I'm not going to receive it well, he'll still say it. My business partner, the same thing. She schools me like a child because she thinks we are on the entertainment side, and she understands the entertainment and then the corporate. She had to explain to me how it works. And if you want to survive, and somebody is in there who knows it, you just listen. So I don't really have a problem. But if you are coming from a place where you are trying to it's not like you're giving solution, but you're just trying to tarnish what I'm doing or trying to undermine my effort, that one I'm not. I would notice that I don't have to listen to that.
Well, listeners, in case you just tuned in, Sarkodie is my special guest in the studio, and we're talking with streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook. Log on Hitz 103.9 FM. We have a lot more to talk about. Hi, I'm on my way.
Golden text.
Hi, Budo. I'm on my way.
Say that your brain they receive that one.
Yeah, no.
No, it be the ultimate brain they receive that one. Bang! Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yes.
Charlie, brothers swear that they use extra things.
Yeah.
When you hear I'm on my way, if I apply. So my buddy apply. I'm on my way, never it never happened.
She's still on the way.
Then y'all don't come. Who just for a dresser? Yeah, we meet you me kuno.
Baby,
But why they been to that?
The way they tell the story,
No, but this, but why it never happened to you before? Hey,
I'm blessed like that. Hey.
It just say I'm on my way.
No, I'm blessed like that.
Where you never come.
No disappointment,
Yeah, the fear. So I go ask Sark because if he gets some trouble. but does Madam ask questions, especially when she hears stuff?
No, because she's been with me and I'm saying stuff that she knows I'm not even into the stuff that I'm talking about. And when I started even talking about champagne, I had never tried it. Boga, not mean too quiet.
I remember.
Right? So it's not really about what you're doing. You have to, as an artist, you have to be able to live people's reality. Because if I'm talking about me, it might be boring because I don't do much myself. But a lot of people are going through stuff that you can just pick from. you know. And I'm my boys person. Yeah, she had the same way, but then you are picking, you know, these things out and say reality. I did course I don't know. Why I like a customer on fire? We need to talk, Anchor.
but when
after you go come, you come your day.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
Motorway out to me accident.
Because you go remember,
there are some banks. So we need to talk. So when you get time.
But when you remember stuff like this, that you should have put in a song, and it clicks like that, or if anyone comes to mind like I forgot what happens? You start thinking of a remix?
No, not the same song, but you still have it here. That it could be another song that you can just put that phrase in there. Yeah.
So what for like features?
The thing is, I don't really sit down and plan these things. It has to happen. So, but since I have it here, if Obi like, you know, the name banner and I'm line ebe cool, and I say me I'm in so then I'll just give it to myself. I don't sit down and plan like I'm going to do this and I'll do a song like this. I've never done that before. To plan how this maybe this is what I want. I don't do that. This is if it happens and then the cadence happen to be this way, then I'll just do it.
Let's stay on the Jams album. So the last time we met, that was about 2 weeks ago. We were having a discussion on hit songs.
Yes.
And you were even saying something about, the song you felt like it could be, yes. And that discussion, well, people were not around, so it was just us.
Yeah.
But on air, I want us to get deeper into it because I think that dedication needs to go down. And Martinez and Robert and Boo, I'll need your input on this. About a hit song, sorry?
Why the slam name like that? Always. Today we
American.
Robert, get close, right? What were you saying?
Why the slam name like that? Robert, like it.
Because
you're in a tie.
you know what I'm saying? Again, Sarkis hair, you know what I'm saying? Ja, Gia, Kaswa Van Dam. Yeah, you know what to do. I forgot that. Okay, so when you were recording the Jams album, did you have like a pan of songs that you had to select, or you did this for the album?
Yeah, so I think 2-3 songs started the album. That's what normally happens. And I think She Bad. I think
that's my favorite on the album. Anyway.
Yeah, the way I arranged it, kind of like similar. So, Labadi, She Bad, and
the Cougar.
No, Cougar came late. The one with Ink Boy, 1 million CDs.
That's a jam.
Yeah, I know.
So these songs kind of like set the tone for what I thought, the project could be.
I see. Did you have any, when you finished, did you have any thoughts that, okay, this will be the hit? Nada.
No. I have what I liked, which is not always assured. But
which one did you like?
Labadi.
Oh, really? Was that why you released it first?
Yeah. It's still my personal favorite. It's a song that I still play in my car. When I go to clubs, I request for it. My own song. But
really?
Yeah, because there's a vibe to it when I'm playing it. It makes me feel a certain type of way. And that's why I like it.
Were you too concerned when it sounded like the previous record? There was a record that even when it came, people were saying that. And I remember when I broke the record. Sorry,
some lines with
Can Promise.
Yeah.
No, it was like the progression.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the words, but the melody.
Yeah, the melody.
Like the one with
which one?
The one with
Can't Let You Go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
And then the one with the Nigerian guy, forgotten his
Yeah,
name.
because that was intentional.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yes.
because
That-
Promise is trying to. It's like a collage of my records.
yeah.
So I think he did like 3 songs.
Exactly.
I Can't Let You Go because I wait for your body. And then Anajo.
Okay.
Baby, why you doing me so? It's not living thing.
Oxlade.
Yeah, so like 3 songs, and then he put together, which was genius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But people didn't really get the vibe. So when I broke the record, I was on air saying that you don't have the moral rights to feature.
Because I wanted to go to BBC. I was there that day.
Oh, you were here, okay.
Yeah.
That day I bought. I was saying,
Oh yeah, I've been in Twitter. So that was
So okay, so you saw the clip.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
How did you feel when you saw it?
Of course, it's funny. Because I know, Andy, and I don't think that's. Of course, what you're trying to do is, I didn't. So social media can change energy towards stuff. So sometimes I can see something, I'll laugh to myself. Some I can retweet, especially the timing. So if the timing is around me promoting the song, I don't want the other energy when you didn't mean it like that, but then they can pick it up and then make it something. So that's why. But of course, I saw it. Yeah.
So still on the Jams album, then came the song with Black Sheriff.
Yes,
Big Jam.
Countryside.
And then
That was the last song on the.
that was that the last recording you did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So song came out and it was all over. Were you disappointed that they are left?
Is. You
Sorry?
said it was. I said is.
Is.
Yes.
Okay. So were you disappointed
That.
that Sark Black Sharif joint had taken the lead, and it was like that was what was blazing on all radio stations? Because when I woke up and I tuned in on radio, it was like the only song I was hearing. Like, yo, it's an album. What about the rest? Can't we get the opportunity to
Also focus on.
get the people? Because for me, remember I was telling you that immediately I had it, I even forgot about the Black Sheriff thing because I knew that would be a jam.
Yeah.
So I started listening to the songs until I got to She Bad, and I was like, okay, for now, this is my
This is
jam.
your jam.
So I skipped it, started listening to the rest. Were you disappointed?
No, it's the best thing that could happen to every artist, that you have a song that people love. And I've grown to understand that you can't really control anything. The fact that you would want them to love something, you can't force them. They love what they love. And the good thing is, it's still my song. So it's not like a song that came from somewhere. It's my song, and it's huge. So it did justice to the project. What every artist will pray for is that at least you have one song that will lead your album. So now if you're sitting down and taking people through your project, you need to have a reference song on the project. So if I go to Sarkodie, I might find Baby, or no, Machete, you find Baby. Sarkodie, you find what Sarkodie and Rapaholic. I always mix it. Rapaholic had You Go Kill Me.
Yeah.
That's the biggest on that. Highest had Painkiller. Black Love had, you had Sarah, you had Can't Let You Go, Anajo. Jams, No Pressure had Non-Living Thing. And then
Not only non-living thing.
yes, that one had almost every song on
Coachella.
Coachella, yes,
Big
Coachella
Jam.
on. So now you need that for jams. So no matter where it comes from, even if it was the skit in the beginning that became a hit, I'll still be proud of it. Yeah.
But isn't it amazing how after all these albums you get to remember all of these songs? Like on every album you remember at least one. Chalemi and Camry Bifi.
Only confusion I have is Psychology and Rapaholic. That too, I'm always confused. The songs on there. Yeah.
You remember at one time we were having a conversation and I asked you, I even forced you to do some of the lines.
Yeah, wait, I did
and
lay
and and I was shocked how he was picking it. I remember Kenasa was like, wow. So after all these, like you remember every line in there.
Not
And-
for every song.
Not for every song.
No. So when a song becomes a hit, I listen to the song the same way the fans would, because it's a hit. And you can't even, your own song, you can't run away from it. Because anytime that you're somewhere, they're playing it. So you have to catch up with your own lyrics. Some, if it doesn't become huge and it's not my personal favorite, I can forget because I don't listen to it back to back. I wouldn't say personal favorite. It's just I don't give it too much attention. There are songs that if I'm supposed to perform, I will struggle because I wouldn't remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, She Bad. It's 103.9 FM. King Sark is my special guest in the studio. She Bad. So what? When you're recording with them, what? You fly them in?
Some they were here already, and then some I was there, and then some they did it and sent it.
Where was Cranium? Did he come down?
Yeah, that was Rapaholic when he came for Rapaholic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, and he kept it all this while.
Yeah.
Eh?
Oh yeah, I'm fan to.
Oh no, so no cannot at all. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
he needs some fan to out.
Fan to out
but say until it's ready. I mean, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you were telling me about the MOG song that it stayed for what, 2 years?
No, it's almost 9.
9 years.
Yes, 9, 10.
Okay. When did you record the Bob Marley song?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I had the info. I had the info that you had it. You this was in 2020.
Yes. Yeah. That's how long.
And funny enough, Undertoner.
Yeah.
Why is it ripe for it to come out now?
I think it's up to his people when it's ready, and then it's a big moment that has to be presented the right way. You don't want to interfere in their process. So I think the hold up wasn't necessarily intentional, but keeping it under the wraps was intentional because they have to wait till they are ready. But I think it's a whole project. It's not just it's an African project they're doing. So and then I happen to be the lucky one to have the first release, and then after that they have more coming. So they had to make sure they have everything ready.
Oh,
they're good.
So is it going to be like the project they did with the first one that featured Lauryn Hill, Busta Rhymes? Oh, so this is the part 2.
Yes.
Oh,
with
amazing.
Africa.
Amazing.
Because I think they said personally he has this attachment with Africa, and I heard he had his biggest concert in Africa. I forgot the country. So
I think the one with Zimbabwe.
I think so. Yes. So that's what they said, that his connection with Africa is very deep. So that's why they're doing this project to honor, that love that he has for Africa.
So did you choose the song, or they chose and sent it to you?
Yeah. So I had options, but then I went for Stir It Up.
Oh, you had options?
Yes.
Oh, wow. But how did you get the link?
So these things, how it happens is it's not that they should like they're there and they're saying Sarkodie is the one that they're. What happens is they are doing a project. They need African artists, and then whoever is in charge of the project will be looking for artists that they think will suit, the project. So it will be all will be presented, and then they will have to choose who they think is good. That's, I think, before they had to even reach out and say, we have this and we'd like to have you on.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I see. So then we may have other Ghanaians on the project. Maybe.
Yes. Maybe until now, I don't know who's on there.
Yeah, because of confidentiality.
Exactly.
So, okay. Right, I see. So with this Bob Marley project, was this the reason Posse G made the comment that you're going to be featuring someone bigger than Jay-Z?
You have to ask him, but that was definitely a time where, because Posse G knows me that I'm very discreet when it comes to these things. So, but I think his point was coming from pure joy and being happy for whatever that's happening. So, I don't think we really had a conversation. We had a conversation when I got, because that information came. I was in the air.
Okay.
I mean,
in a flight.
So when I dropped, as soon as I got off the flight, I called him, and actually I was a bit out of character because I was like, no, this is not something that I want, and that's I said in the beginning, this energy, I don't want people now thinking about, you think you're doing something against something. Like, I don't want all that. It's just music we're doing. It has nothing to do with anybody, So he didn't have that thought, but if it's this, then you have to ask him himself, because he said it. I didn't ask him to go and say it. So now, to Posse G.
So now, do you feel like you featured someone bigger than Jay-Z?
I don't think that's a thought. Because I have to be honest, it's not my thought. It's not because it's bigger than Jay-Z or bigger than who, because that's perspective. People can actually think, I don't want to mention it, but everybody and what they think. Because sometimes you think somebody is huge than somebody, you go and ask somebody, the person doesn't know about the person you're talking about who is huge. So it's relative. And it's not really about that. That's not the point for me. I think anybody who gets a chance to lay your vocals right next to the original vocals of Bob Marley, I don't think anybody would take this as a small situation. It's a very big honor, and I was super nervous.
Really?
Yeah. Even doing songs with Obrafo, I get nervous because he doesn't curse. There are certain rules that it's like unspoken rules about Obrafo, because you listen to his catalog throughout the whole years. There's no song that has any type of
curse.
Exactly. And then working with me, then I have to sieve myself to work with him. So imagine Bob Marley And yes, Bob Marley and what he stands for and the type of music he does and his state of mind. So you have to, so Stir It Up was easy for me because of course it's love. So you can get away with it a little bit and be, but if I chose any of those, I have to be in the zone to be able to get to that point. Because I had options like that. There were songs like that. But
Okay.
I knew that I wasn't mentally there. So I had to choose the one that I could do.
Legendary. Yo.
Man, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But the fusion of Chi.
Yes.
Yes. I was following, there was a conversation going on, especially with the language, and it's international. But Mali is this and is that, and Sarkodie bringing it, and still people coming. You still hold on to the fact that you're representing your people, and you won't forget your roots, and that's what you're easily familiar. That's what you're familiar with, and it helps with your flow. Could that be the reason? Again, do not take me out of context because I've listened to you do some English lines, and just the Chi was like it was just a little bit of that, and you still delivered. And yes, I mean it suck. Forgive me. Yeah, but why that inclusion?
So the story was same thing. I thought normally I would first thought to be Chi, but when the call came and then I had to do the thing, I thought the same way people were thinking that I need to do a lot more English where the family wouldn't know whether you are saying something that they don't like, so you have to say it in English so they can hear it. And then the feedback was they want more of your language because that's why they're doing an African project. If I don't think you want to go to China and hear an American slang out there because that's not what they're looking for. They come there, they are coming in to tap into what you guys are doing. So that is what I had, and then I had to. So it was the other way around. It was a bit like 10% Chi, and then dominated by. So if the halfway was a bit English, so that was dominating in the beginning. Then I had to change it into rapping in Chi. That's what they loved, and then I had to translate it in English to them.
When the song came, when it was released, did you sleep that night?
So because it's been 3 years. I've already come. It's like it's out already in my mind. Oh, because I've listened to it over and over.
Oh, you had a copy.
Exactly. So it's not. I was like, oh, finally, we can drop. But I don't think it's. If it came out at the same time that I recorded, that would be the feeling you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. But now it's like, oh, I know what it is. We have shot the video. I've watched it. So.
Did you see the negative comments that came? Some of them. I was amazed.
It is expected because you don't want to. There is nothing that you can put out there that you expect 100% positivity. It's not even real. So that is not a shock factor. I knew that this is obviously going to have counters coming in. I tried to limit the percentage a little bit because I know it's going to be there. But the comments like the one you just said in the beginning about Pussy G, I know that could also be a factor where people think that is what I am thinking because the person is close to me.
Zach, please get closer.
Because the person is close to me, so whatever he says, he think I am thinking. So that can also affect the impact of what we put out. But I've seen a lot of people who really are enjoying it, and the point is, I did a record with one of the biggest people you could ever think about, and that's where it ends for me.
Did you hear Shatawale's comments about you featuring? At least you worked with a ghost.
It came out of excitement, probably.
Did you take it to heart?
I want to remember a situation that I've taken to heart in the past few years. It's hard. My issues that I take to heart is a broader issue. It's not limited to human beings, like personal human beings. It's more of things that I want to see change. It's not somebody said something, because everybody's going to say something. So that's not what gets to me. It's more about this industry and how I think we've had conversations about, So that's, to me, that's what will get to me. Not an individual sharing their opinion. No.
I mean, where the fans are pouring in and trying to, you don't get distracted at all. about these?
It will actually be hurtful if you don't get that, because that's when you are not necessarily important in the conversation. Because if it's you, it's very. I thank God that you can cause that type of attention, that people actually care, whether it's hate or love. It's because you need that reaction to weigh where you are, in life. So, as I think it's in all, I see it in the good side of it.
But don't you get disappointed that your own people, like, we're colleagues?
We've been through it over and over again. It's sad to say, not necessarily accepted, but as expected in a way. So, a couple years back, yes, I'll be shocked. I'm like, we're doing something so great. Not just me, even other artists, when I see people treat them like that when they have done something amazing, because I feel, but everybody has their principle. I have my principle. I don't necessarily love everything that anybody does, but my principle is either I'm about to uplift or I don't care. So it's two things. I don't have to put what you're doing down because I don't know what you are thinking while you're doing it. If you do something that's foul, like evil, bad, of course people can comment on that. But I think me having my opinion, that's gonna degrade your effort. I don't think that's what I would do. I would choose not to care about it. But that's my rule. So I live by that. But I can't control how other people react to situations. Yeah.
There are comments pouring in for you. I'm going to read some of them and then I get my elders in the studio. Elombini. Big shout out to Elombini. He says,
that's my guy.
Yeah, good guy. He says, Senior, good morning to you and Sark. Just two simple questions for him. Meanwhile, I see three. It happens to a writer. Well, he says, number one, how did you manage to get Cranium to flawlessly sing in Chi? That part of him doing Chi is quite therapeutic. Should I read all of them so you answer?
I can answer that. So that was just the recording session, and then of course you know how studio works. When you're working, actually, when a lot of artists are working with me and then they're not Ghanaians, I want them to sing in our language. Okay. So that's the same thing that happened. I just gave him the words and then he used it.
Okay, but was it difficult? I think there was one I saw. It was so funny.
For Wakomano, it took him like a lot of takes.
Oh yeah,
it's more of he hears wafa all the time instead of fawa.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Number two says, also, did you record Over Me directly with Sina Soul in the studio? Because her vocals were so powerful. Sark, make our lady overstretch herself to make sure she delivered good on it.
No, so I sent it to her. That's one of the best vocal performance I've heard. And then I think she's actually extremely very good.
Too much.
Sina Soul's voice is like something that can represent us on an international scale, and I know it's gonna get there. I don't know which song. Like when I saw Can Promise, I knew it was gonna be huge. I didn't know how, but I knew that it was gonna be good. And Sina Soul has that approach. So yeah, I sent it to her. The only part that I added was the end when it said "Over Me, you did over." That melody came when me and Can Promise were in London, and then he was humming it, and I had to send her a voice note to sing that. So
I see. Countryside with Black Shaib dear. My voter DJs be banging it back to back. Okay, so that's not a question. All right. Wait. More comments. Okay, George Quay. It says, Minia, you have a legend in the studio. I've worked with many artists, but I can tell you for sure that when it comes to work ethic, deep interest in the process, solid commitment to the final output, and general concern about the grand look and feel from start to finish, Sark is one of the very best we have around. I pray God continues to open doors for him. It's always an honor to work with him. Kudos. Well, that's from George Quay.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Brad George, that's it.
Okay.
Oh no, but before you skip that, George's commitment to this industry, we can't rule that out.
Charlie.
Over the years, I don't know who has been this committed to us and serving us selflessly. And you can see when people are doing stuff for favors in return. George literally just wants to see people win. And big shouts to Boo, who is here at the birth of Rapperholic. These people are people that just lay down themselves to make us, who we are. And big shouts to Mr. George, still here. He literally just hit me up. I don't know. I asked George, does he have a life outside our industry? Because he's always talking to somebody, trying to do something with the person. I just shot a short clip somewhere in Accra. I just called him that I just needed a place because he had a link to it. He had to he's literally the director for what I did because he had to move from work and come So big shouts to his commitment. I really do appreciate it. I've told him already, but I have to say it on here that the industry need to celebrate George Quay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, more comments. Let me read them. Pour them in. I have time for you. Well, your African says, boss, it's about time we stop asking some questions which is not relevant. Asking Sarkodie about what Shatta said is not relevant. Please, let's immature presenters who are looking for him to ask such a question. Enough respect. Well, thank you. Then he shouldn't have said that. Does that mean... Okay, no comment. Let me just do my work.
You don't want to take.
No. I see.
You don't want to take opinion.
No, I've taken it. That's what I said.
So let's move on. Don't catch feelings. They're too touchy. Massa. Massa, send in capital letters.
Why
It is my opinion.
Maybe like the person
Excuse me. It is my opinion to walk you out of the studio.
I will not go anywhere. Like the show could stop.
You did here.
opinion to sit down?
What do they talk about? Massa. The court cases I get no chow. I want another one. 2023 be violence.
Hey, I beg.
Hey,
They don't use that language.
Massa. Tell her what you're saying.
I heard myself. GOK Break says, I Sarkodie just don't love what everybody does, but that's my principle. Efia Kumsi says, Andy, please ask Sark what he has to say about Nasty C's comments about Sark not shaking his hands. 1. Number 2, why did he choose the album title Jams? Number 3, can he tell us a little about how Bob Marley's team and his team were contacted? Well, he has answered that already. So yes, 1 and 2.
First one was
what do you have to say about Nasty C's comments about you not shaking his hands?
I think I'm always surprised when people are like, they feel disappointed when maybe something doesn't go how they expect it to be. You know, I'm not ruling out the fact that it might be true what you're saying, but we all go through it. Like, you have tried to like reach out to somebody, but you see, if I respect somebody, I'm not necessarily mad at the person. That's their choice. If they are being rude and trying to tell me, like, if you do something to me, that's different. But if you didn't do something for me, I don't think that's a problem. So I was just saying sorry to start with, but at the same time, don't get it twisted and throw in certain conversations like I'm reaching out and you are declining, whatever. So that's me addressing that part, because that wasn't the truth. So I had to like address it and then make you understand that sometimes it's just your own expectation that's really getting you disappointed, not necessarily what the person did.
So you replied him?
Yes, yeah, in a way, because I had a few things I wanted to say before 2023, and then that happens to be one of the conversations.
Are you expecting a response from him?
I don't expect anything from anybody, but then if I feel like if I want to do something, I'll do it. Yeah.
If he comes at you like a response, sort of, you're a bigger artist.
I can never predict that.
But just in case, will you go back and forth?
No, I would never say.
Never.
Exactly.
You will never say never.
Exactly.
So what you said in the song, you almost say, "Oh yeah, Sark, but be for ready."
Yeah, if I want to, yeah.
Hey.
Soldier is always a soldier.
They must say they are not to Okay, I believe Dr. says, Andy, please ask Sarkodie if the kind of profane or suggestive lyrics he puts out in his branding or is just a dream thing.
Was this specific on the lyrics?
Yeah, they are lyrics. Okay, Olasti says, Andy, as the bigger than Jay-Z track is out, no, stir it up. So right now, if Jay-Z plays a call for a feature, will he consider him? And Landlord Sarkodie, please, what are we building for Bob Kofi Olasti Mali? If you answer the Jay-Z,
of course, you run with immediate effect. Yes.
Man like Pilato says, good morning, Brandy. Tell King Saga the feel that Tony used in saying, I put in a lot of work, so they call me the landlord. The way that thing to be me, landlord, what it? Okay. Eagle Eye said, Mr. Sandy, you know what's up? She bad is a jam. Now, Adam Tatome says, matters of the heart. Samini pours out. Yvette Sakwa, is it the first time? It seems, wait, Charlie, that's quite a lengthy message. Okay. It seems more than 7 musicians feel sack no they return favor. Adam, EL, Freddie Mayway, Yemi Alede Kwakese, Sharif Agunu, GH, and now Samini. What runs through their disappointment is the fact that after agreeing to be on a project with them, he later refuses to return their calls and messages. He ignores them. I think in current digital climates, the success camp needs to be worried and proactive about reputation and perception management of the brand Sarkodie and better reach to these aggrieved colleagues for them to even do a damage control on their behalf to clear some of these things online. They may think it will die naturally when they come up, but what they forget is their performance history, which makes people dig into the past when there is new issues to make their case, like I have done. This means issues never die naturally, especially when not dealt properly. In this regard, anytime an issue pops up, try and solve it to its logical conclusion, else the day something comes up, it will be used as reference against you. Organizations and individuals should take serious perception management if they really care about their public image. Thanks. All right, so that's Adam Totome of Ghanaian Times. Quite a lengthy message,
but there was a lot to pick from it. I think he has a point. Yes, I picked a lot from the angle he's coming from. It's true. As much as you think something might not be true, so you think it will die, of which it does, but there are certain people that will keep that in them because they never had clarification to it. So yes, makes sense.
Now, I woke up with a lot of comments, and Samini, well, coming up with some. There were a lot of tweets on Twitter going on. He says, not sure I'll need. Okay, someone looks like he says, I did Love Rocks for free under 24 hours. He's just alone when it comes to returning favors. That's all. Unlike him, I do my own hooks and verses. I don't need features to blow like I die. You know what time it is, Sarkodie? We should direct. It says, not sure I'll need a verse from Sark, but if he ever does need one, I'm not interested, and that's facts. He knows this himself. Oh yeah, look, sometimes I don't play that. Yes or no be problem for him, so it go slow you and your project go dull. He did it to me on Burning EP. And he says, I got nothing against Sarkodie, and he knows it. He also know that he owe me personal apology for the blue ticks after having me send 3 tracks and he choosing one. After asking me if it was a single or an album, to which I answered it's an EP. He's like, cool. He's here to respond. So these are tweets from Samini.
Yeah, the same way it caught everybody off guard. It's the same. So we'll just have to get the details as to what actually could be the issue before we can actually comment, because you don't want to say stuff, because I don't know where he's coming from at this point. So when we get to what it is about, we'll definitely put a comment to it.
Well, where he's coming from is the fact that
I understand the tweet, but what I'm saying is it could be more than that. So you have to be very careful how you because I always treat things how I would. I see things how I would have reacted, which is wrong, but then that's my logic, because before I will come out there to say something, I might have told you already, right? So if Andy Dusty, you're doing something that I tell you on WhatsApp, I will tell you that this and this and that. When was it? Did I call you?
You've not called me in a very long time. But we've been chatting.
Did I call you on? I don't want to be specific on a case. I think there was something you guys were discussing here.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember. So the day I was with you, we go chop fufu away. Oh, it was you.
I mean, what did we discuss?
No.
I think it was
no. Please
don't bring me coming.
No. They would do with a chop fufu for some joint.
But I didn't say we discussed something on air. It means
yeah.
On air
that day you were on air. I think it was a tiny issue.
So I called you and we had a conversation. I told you my point of view.
Right.
Or I wrote you something.
Pay the 2,000 for time.
This is why. See,
Maybe the thing.
I said my man
Oh,
So my
as they kick me, now you know that. Now you kick you small. I just said, you know, like.
why you get it, you know. So my point was, because I felt a certain type of way, I called. I'll hit you up and say, oh, this and this and that. Yeah, and I doubt that personally having issues with people would make me want to like let the public know, because Twitter is not gonna solve. I don't think you can even actually make your point on Twitter. They will dissect it and make it look a certain type of way. So if I have a personal issue, even if you are actually wrong, I will have to tell you, Bulldog, whether you respond or not. At least I've told you. So that's why I want to know exactly what it is before you make a general comment about it.
I see. All right, guys. So we are live on Hitz 103.9 FM. Kinsak is my special guest. And Dusty, please ask Sarkodie whether he really has a song with Kanye West or not. MOG tweeted something like that a few months ago. Richard from Spintex.
Yeah, sure.
You think he will say it?
No, I don't have a song with him.
Okay. Cambodia, my guy. Cambodia fixes cars, man. He fixed my car recently. Was I tell Sarkodie that I greet him and Black Nana, they should look for me small way back in Tema Community 11. Your guy, eh? Yeah, Cambodia. Okay. Hey. Okay. Hey, Samini is saying something. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Charles, Ayalolo boss, he says, and it was there, put Sarkodie and his family in the Ayalolo bus when they arrived from London during the lockdown. I personally held his wife's bag into the bus. I think you didn't know who I was then. I'm a big fan. So Sarkodie and his family rode in one bus from the airport to their hotel for quarantine. Oh, wow. Hey, Charlie, so this quarantine thing, the time they go lock you up for...
Yeah, Alicia.
Hey, Charlie. Okay. Now, showing off MPP colors in the Stir It Out video, people say he confirmed that he's MPP by showing the flag. Fred from Amasama. Charlie, today, dear. So this is Fred from Amasama. Sack. Was that intentional?
Said there was a
Fred from Amasama. It says...
So I had to actually go and watch it back again. Okay. The video,
so you've seen that comment?
So the video, well, the part that you saw me in is the only part that I was there. Every other thing that I had no idea, because it's not my video. I didn't control the cutaways. So you saw
Bosco.
Yeah, Daddy Bosco. I had no idea. I saw Daddy Bosco. I said, no nipako tehono. So if you ask Bosco, I didn't call Bosco that you have to be in the video, right? So and he didn't even know that was the video.
For a minute, I had to rewind to check whether...
Yes, it was Daddy Bosco. Yeah. So I saw it the same way. That's the same thing with everything, because these are white people from somewhere. They're shooting. You know the flag is NPP, NDC. They're just shooting it. So, but I get it. Just propaganda.
So who brought the flag there?
I think it's just, you have flags around. Because in the shot, I think it was somewhere.
From the comments, I thought you had wrapped yourself with it. Like, hey, no.
Oh, God.
Okay. Oh, Charlie Sack.
But
Charlie,
there's nothing wrong even if he's MPP. What's wrong with that?
I've not invited you. That's it. I've not been